Recently, the Greater Nashville Technology Council hosted a special forum for NTC members to connect directly with some of 2023's mayoral candidates on issues that matter most to them. My name's Clark Buckner of Relationary Marketing, and I sat down with each candidate to discuss their vision for the future of technology. Here's what they had to say on why they're running to be the next mayor of Nashville and why members of the tech community should vote for them.
Well, this is a high-stakes election for Nashville, and the city needs to know that it's going to have leadership that it can trust and that will work for them. We know it's high stakes because we are living through a very challenging conflict between the city and the state that is making it harder to solve any of our problems. We know that we're facing a decline in trust because too many people in Nashville feel like growth has been happening to them instead of for them. And I think we've got to get that right. And then third, I think that while we've seen a lot of economic success in our city, you cannot rest on your laurels. You have to continue to invest in your people, continue to expand opportunities, and continue to look towards the bigger future. The reason that tech voters should vote for me is because I realize that innovation and technology are the dividing line between the cities that are going to be truly amazing and everywhere else. Cities absolutely must lean big into innovation. And I think that people sometimes get confused and think through, I'm going to have a technology policy or a technology office, or I'm going to think about the technology sector, when really innovation and technology should be driving the way you approach governance generally. You ought to be thinking about the way that technology is going to shape the economy overall, not think of it as a distinct small sector of your city's future.
So I am a two-term council member at large, and I've been working with metro departments for probably 25 years. So I know Metro through and through, and they know me. So I can get things done. And I know that as a council member at large was the next level from me being a public servant. And now I realize being mayor will be the next level from council member at large. I believe that for those reasons, because I have the experience, I have the relationships, and I am a deliverer. I am a leader of leaders, and I will get it done. I'm known to not get permission but forgiveness because I make sure that I get it done. And for as far as the tech, everything is moving to technology. I mean, we're in the information age and technology age, and everything is of technology. And our future is with our young folk, and we have to put that baton in their hands in order for them to do. So I look to surround myself with people like you and others that are the technology gurus in order to make things happen and make things tick in this city. We can create it all ourselves as opposed to following someone else. That's what I think is so great about Nashville, is because we are the leader. We're the ones that bring the balance. We have changed our culture so much. We're the most diverse city in this state, but the culture has changed and the politics have not. And it's time for the politics to change. And I'm that change that we need.
Sure, yeah. No, I think that the tech community is central to the future of the city of Nashville, and certainly from the perspective of the mayor's office. I'm a former mayor. I was the mayor of Oak Hill. I'm the current state senator. And I look at a mayor's office of a major city like Nashville as sort of a venture catalyst. And by that, I mean that it's a wonderful place for networking and support of our workforce, nonprofits, businesses, academic institutions, all of these sorts of stakeholders in our society that contribute so much to Nashville's future. And as a venture catalyst, not a capitalist, a venture catalyst, I think it's important in that role to make sure that we're connecting people to opportunities and lifting people up through not just technology, but entrepreneurship and supporting Nashville businesses and Nashville workforce development.
Well, thank you for having me here. And as you probably know, I am a Nashville native and graduate of Metro Nashville Public Schools. I'm running for mayor because stuff just isn't working right in our city right now. And it doesn't need to be that way. I think there are a lot of improvements we can make operationally and with some of the big issues that we're facing to make this city function better for people who actually live here.
Well, we have a couple of reasons why we're running for Nashville mayor. One, I have this slogan, for the first time, let's have history together. Send an educator, a teacher, to the office of mayor. Educators are the best managers. We manage your children, we manage the parents, we manage the households, and we manage our classrooms. On the serious side, which that is serious, but on the serious side, we must talk mental health. And IT plays a big part on mental health. All roads leads to mental health. And so that's very important to me that we have mental health clinics. Where there's churches, there's a mental health clinic. IT, very important for what can be done with telehealth, communication with therapists. We need you.
Well, I'm running for mayor because as a city, we are experiencing unrestrained and unplanned growth. And it is threatening and impacting the quality of life of every Nashvilleian. And if we don't get in front of this, it's going to begin to impact the soul of the city. Everybody feels what's going on from a growth standpoint. You feel it in what it costs to live here and how it's changing our neighborhoods when you're stuck in traffic, potholes not getting fixed, the absence of infrastructure, the level of crime, the fact that our schools struggle with funding. It is something that cuts across everybody who lives in Nashville. It particularly impacts those in the middle class and below. It's not that we don't understand the challenges of housing or infrastructure or transit. My frustration and why I'm running is that we have talked about these problems for years and done little about them. If you think about what the priorities of our politicians have been, for example, over the last couple of years, it hasn't necessarily been these issues. Instead, it's been how do we fund the most lucrative public subsidy ever for an NFL team while taking political contributions from the counterparty they were negotiating with. I think that we have to stop politics as usual in the city. We need to start focusing on how do we enhance and improve the quality of life of people who live here. We can grow, but we need to do it in the right way so that people who just want to live in a safe neighborhood that they can afford with a good school for their kid can still call Nashville home. The challenge for us is not just that we have to have a vision for how to shape our growth, it's that we have to have the courage to act, and we also have to have somebody in the seat with the executive experience and expertise to actually get things done. Now, my background is different than the other people who are running. I've never run for political office before. I've never worked in politics. I'm not a political insider. I come from a background of overseeing a big chunk of AllianceBernstein, where I was chief operating officer. I had 3,200 people or so reporting to me, plus or minus. I sat in 25 countries. I oversaw a budget about the same size as that of Metro. And I got to that position because I have a long history of being able to take on tough challenges, not be afraid to make difficult decisions, and actually doing things. And what we need as a city right now is somebody who is not afraid to get things done. We need to tackle the issues that we have talked about forever. Every day that goes by, these issues become more expensive and more difficult to deal with. And we are at a very critical juncture, in my view, where we can either continue on the current path or we can plot a new course with new leadership where we're not following a politics as usual path. And if I take office, I'm not going to be beholden to the folks that are the insiders or that are the big political contributors. I'm going to worry about the people who live here.
Well, first, I appreciate this opportunity to talk to the tech community. This is a great format. I just love it because I get a chance to get intimate in reference to in the weeds of why I'm running.
It's just like a rotation. It's different. So you get small groups, and we're one of the stops.
Yeah,
so
yeah. But it gives that opportunity to really ask that question and go deeper. But yes, I love Nashville, and I love the people of Nashville. And one of the reasons why I'm running is because it's just a part of my DNA. I'm a lifelong public servant. When I started out as a council person, I was very involved and very integrated into my community, to the point that even to this day, some people don't even know I'm not the council person, because when they call me, I'm always willing to help. And that's what I'm about. Nashville yesterday was good, and it can be better. Nashville today is good, and it can be better. And so I'm ready to work on Nashville tomorrow for it to be better. And I know that having stronger neighborhoods and having stronger businesses is the key.
A better tomorrow. That's
tomorrow.
always that's the message. So when you think about a better tomorrow, from the Nashville tech community, we're all thinking about, hey, how do we continue to make Nashville great and think about tomorrow? Are there any thoughts you have, if you had this moment to share directly to the tech community, any thoughts you want to share with them on why you want their vote?
Yes. Well, first of all, I'm tech friendly. I love technology in order to make things more efficient and more effective in getting it done. We have to rely on technology, I do believe. As a council person, when I served from 2003 to 2007, one of the things I introduced was something we're doing today, but it was ostracized when I introduced it as a council person, and that was to have camera readers on cars. And we're talking about 2003 now. It was in 2004. They can find the legislation, and boy, did they beat me up about that, because people were talking about their privacy. I think since that time, things have evolved. You know, when you're in the public space, do you really have privacy? No, not really. So you have to be careful in reference to what you're doing, whether you're running a red light or if you're doing anything else that can maybe get you a divorce, you know? But my point is that even then I was thinking about technology that can help advance us in reference to public safety, and that was then. Wow. Now, what are we looking at today? We have what is called a pilot of cameras that are used to deal with people going through traffic lights, catching people doing crime. We're doing that now. And think if we had taken that first approach back then in the 2003 to 2007, my first term, think where we could be today. But that's not a blame. It's just that how we evolve and how we think about things is very important. And privacy was a key issue at that time, and I understand that. But technology is very important. So when you think about, you know, with the office where I'm in right now, as the assessor of property, which is why I say I'm tech friendly, is that we are considered on the cut as the flagship of all offices of the assessors across the 95 counties. Now, of course, you cannot compare me to a rural county, so they don't have the resources to be able to be tech friendly as they would like to. They still have to worry about being able to pay their workforce, or the lack thereof, for that matter. But when you compare we compare Davidson County to Hamilton County and Shelby County and Knox County, you're going to see that we are the #1 website where people can not only use the website where I am the assessor to be able to create their own appeal of their value to tell me, hey, Vivian, you got my value too high. We make that easy with technology. When you're talking about the fact that when we get a register of deeds, when we get a deed that's been filed at the register of deeds, and then when it comes over to my office and we have to print them, then put them in, that means we need technology, right? So guess what? We got some technologies that's coming that is going to allow that when they scan that deed or at the register of deeds office, it comes over to us electronically. We are able to read those different little spaces, name, the amount of money that was paid for that property and things like that, without us actually going through the process of printing it and and redoing and doing being redundant. So it's technology that helps us in everything that we do for us to be efficient and effective. We need that in every form and fashion of the issues that are facing Nashville, whether it be for public safety, whether it be economic development, whether it be in education. Come on, you right now thinking, yeah, technology can go there, and there, and there. Yes. So we have to be in a deliberate relationship with the tech people. So techie, I love tech.
So I'm running fundamentally because what I've been hearing as Nashville has kind of reached this point in our cycle of growth and looking at peer cities, and I hear concerns from Nashvillians across the county about cost of living, quality of life. I want everybody to stay. The city brought me back here specifically for a job in the technology industry, and it was at a time when our cost of living actually made that possible. And what I'm hearing now is people are thinking of leaving, and the reason I stayed was the people who are here. So I want everybody to stay, and we can do some things. And the mayor specifically can and should do some things to make it more possible for more people to stay. Now, why anyone in the technology community should want me to be mayor is I am literally a person coming out of the software and technology industry into the mayor's office. And this is, I think, very good news for the people of Nashville, because we know we can better leverage some technology to make the city more accessible, just overall user-friendly, and start to do things that smart cities around the country are doing. And I think it's really important to have familiarity with data, know how to manipulate data. I think actually being a programmer, but also understanding how to procure technology, how to manage people who are working on technology, involvement in systems thinking and project management. You know, I've been trained on Agile and all those kinds of things. And all of them add up to a really good set of skills, it turns out, for operating a city effectively and efficiently.
I think I heard, whether it was you or maybe someone else, I can't remember, but it would be great if the government was a little more user-friendly.
Yes.
I think, did you say that?
I did.
Yeah.
And so
that's what I'm hearing you say now.
Right.
As well.
So to me, Metro should be the premier customer service organization. It's interesting because software isn't going to do that by default, but if we bolster a program like Hub Nashville, which you may be familiar with, it's sort of Metro's first effort to transition into a customer service organization. If you go to hub.nashville.gov, you'll find an entry point that lets you report anything from a pothole to a streetlight that's out to illegal dumping. And this is a really good system. Unfortunately, so often people find their tickets mysteriously closed. It's not yet made the turn into really great customer service experience for the people of the city. And there are many other ways to do that too. Some of them involve understanding who is in our city and taking advantage of the things we know about people to actually meet them where they are.
Thanks for watching. This episode has been a production of Relationary Marketing in partnership with the Greater Nashville Technology Council.